myself, my name is H to the OV. I used to move snowflakes.
Hello, fans of all ages. We are indeed the beasts of the East. Ryan and Warwick. You know I've done that 4 shows in a row now. Ryan Warwick and Scott Thompson with you, live from Studio A here in Rampart College of New Jersey in Mahwah, New Jersey on WRPR 90.3 FM. Thank you for tuning in on this Monday, September 21st, 2015. Right?
You didn't get that wrong.
No, I didn't.
He gets his own name wrong, guys.
Ryan and Warwick, actually. I've done that 3. I listened to both of them on the way here. Our first 2, for whatever reason, the one from Wednesday isn't going on YouTube. I said Ryan and Warwick twice.
Hey, we can't all be perfect.
Peace of the East with you on WRPR 90.3 FM, and we are going to start off with the worst team in the NFL, the New York Giants.
Okay, let's not go worst team, but worst 2 games that I've seen in the NFL so far.
It's been really bad. They're the first team in NFL history to open up their season blowing 2 straight 10-point leads in the fourth quarter. This team, the first 3 quarters, they look very good. And then the fourth quarter comes, and it's downhill from there. It's the complete opposite of what we're used to seeing from the New York Giants.
Yeah. No need.
I thought you were going to fill in. Yeah.
No, yeah. Definitely. The fourth quarter, I thought, is where Eli strives. And now it's like...
You've seen the picture, right?
Oh, yeah. You showed me the picture.
The first 3 quarters of Eli just looking like his little derp face, and then fourth quarter he looks like the Hulk, and it's like he's radioactive.
Yeah, but now it's just the exact opposite of that. Now it's the fourth quarter, it's maybe the little Giants instead of the New York Giants.
Icebox. She's actually like slamming now. She's a smoke show.
I don't know if you can say that. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can.
Anyways.
But
talking about the New York football Giants.
Yeah, not the little Giants. Not Kevin O'Shea.
Football Giants, yeah. It's just been bad in the fourth quarter. Clock management, coaching woes, passive defense, just everything. We thought it would be a lot better than, last week, obviously. But obviously we see the same thing yesterday. Deep balls thrown, just players wide open. Just the same passive defense that we've seen in the past last week.
Yesterday they would wait. Last week we went off about they were wasting not enough clock. Last week they would waste too much clock. They had a delay of game off of a timeout. They had a dumb penalty where Dwayne Harris was not set, and they had a wide open first down on 4th and 1, and then that pushed them back 5 yards, and they had to punt the ball away. A bunch of other bad penalties, more bad coaching. You have Odell, who went absolutely off in the first half. 6 catches, 139 yards, and a touchdown. And then the second half, 1 catch for, 10 yards?
10 yards, 10 or 11.
And then they fed Preston Parker. The last ball of the fourth quarter went to Preston Parker,
who might have dropped 6 balls before that 7th drop that ultimately gave the game away to the Falcons.
I mean, granted, it wasn't a great throw.
Still,
you have to
you're
come
an
up
NFL
with
wide receiver with basically stick 'em all over your gloves.
Yeah.
And you can't catch a ball, let alone catch Preston Parker, last game against the Cowboys, had 3 drops. 3 crucial drops, I might add. I think 2 of them were for first downs. Then he comes into this game dropping 4 balls. Some were like the easiest balls. He had 3-yard space between him and his defender. He has got to use his hands. He's trying to catch with his body. 7 drops in 2 games. That is just completely unacceptable. And especially when the game's on the line, you got to do whatever you can to catch the ball.
I want to know how you feel about this. My brother and I had a huge argument about this yesterday. When Julio Jones catches that unbelievable throw from Matt Ryan late in the fourth quarter, an unbelievable throw, I was hoping that when they reviewed it, when they reviewed it, I wanted that to be a touchdown by Julio Jones. And here's why. They would have been down at the 1 yard line with one. They wound up being down at the 1 yard line with 1:46 on the clock. And then here's what happened. They scored on 3rd down. The Giants wasted a timeout. And then there was only a minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. But what the Giants should have done on 1st down at the 1 yard line is let them score. Are you risking being down 4 points with a minute some to go? Yes. But odds are, when you have 3 plays at the 1 yard line, you're going to score. That's what the odds are. They should have let them score, and then they would have had 3 timeouts with a minute 40 left. And then they turned out to be a minute 14 left with 2 timeouts. I don't know how you think about that, but my brother and I were going off on each other yesterday.
It's funny you brought that up because I was actually watching it with Mike.
Yeah.
At his house, and he was like, well, he thought that Coughlin challenged that he was on the 1, but they review all the scoring plays now and everything. So he was like, I just wanted them to score. Why not? You put Odell in the backfield, let him kick off if he can get it back. Maybe he can push it to the 25, 30, however far, Odell does his thing. You're absolutely right. They should have just let him score, and you could try to go for the stop, but Eli in the 4th quarter, he's shown that he can make a push. You put him even at the 20 with 3 timeouts left. That should be enough time for him to take that game away. But I don't know. I don't know if that was like the turning point in the game, in my opinion. What do you think?
It wasn't the turning point of the game. The turning point of the game was the fact that the defense, all of a sudden, is the defense that we expected it to be all offseason. The first 3 quarters of weeks 1 and 2, they're very good. And no one saw that coming. But in the 4th quarter, they are the defense that we all expected. They can't, for whatever reason, I don't know what happens to them in the 4th quarter. They just can't play. They can't play. They had linebackers covering Julio Jones yesterday at one point.
I was watching one play where Matt Ryan, all he did was turn his head to look to the left. And everyone, and I mean everyone, shifted with his head.
Yep.
You can't do that. He left the receiver wide open. He had like a 20-yard catch. It was honestly embarrassing to watch that because you don't even fake him out with a pump fake. He went like this with his head and
if that's enough
cleared up a lane.
If that's enough to fake you out, then...
Yeah, and it was hard because Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie left the game with a concussion,
and he's probably not going to play on Thursday because very short rest, concussion.
Yeah, he had the first tackle of the game, he gets hurt. He comes back in, the next tackle he makes, great form tackle, gets kicked in the chin, and, he's out for the rest of the game.
He had no idea where he was.
He's been so clutch for the past... last week, and then even in the beginning of that game, he was playing really well, and another safety woe had to come back in. So
Ryan Warwick and Scott Thompson with you. We are the Beasts of the East. Feel free to call in at 201-825-1234. That is 201-825-1234. I said this as soon as Preston Parker got that last ball yesterday. Is it time to get rid of Tom Coughlin? And I think it is. Why are you shaking your head?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Again, coming from, my dad used to always say when he was coaching, a coach can only coach so much. Right. Your players have to produce.
Right.
He called a play. Who knew that? I mean, you couldn't really see it. I don't know if Odell was open or not on that final play.
Yep.
Preston Parker was open. He had a seam.
I would rather throw the ball to Odell.
Obviously, you would, but he was open. There was not. It's not like it was 2 seconds left in the game. There was like 36 seconds left in the game, and he was open and he was near the sideline. And Eli threw the ball short. Number 1. So that's one player not really producing the way you want him to. Then number 2, even though it was short, it was catchable ball. Hard play, but needed to make that play. And Preston Parker just dropped the ball. I don't think it's time for Tom Coughlin to leave.
But Coughlin's going anyway. After this is his last year. They're 0-2. They're not going to do anything. Their defense can't play in the fourth quarter. Eli has been awful, just flat out stupid with clock management, as has Tom Coughlin. They're not going to do anything this year, with or without Tom Coughlin. So you might as well just get rid of him. I've been a huge supporter of Coughlin, but it's time.
Yeah, I mean, it might be time for, some new light to be brought into that locker room. But in my opinion, you're not going to find anyone with the experience in the way that Tom Coughlin carries a team. Again, he is still a two Super Bowl winning coach. He's been with Eli since Eli came to the team. Eli has tons of respect for him. The team has tons of respect for him. But at the end of the day, if your team gets wins, your team gets wins. I'm just waiting for if he stays, week 9, week 10, week 11, and there's going to be some locker room issues. Maybe the players aren't going to respect him as much, or they might be losing. I mean, these 2 losses are really hard, especially in the beginning of the season where there's so many doubts. When you have a lead and you just drop the ball last minute. I mean, in my opinion, I don't think that comes from to a coach.
Right.
To the coach. I think that's the players not producing. The coach can't go out on the field and throw the ball and catch it and run and block. His players just aren't producing. And in my opinion, what he needs to do now is say, listen, you dropped the ball. You did what you did. Get over it. But think about it in your mind. Keep that in the back of your mind. You want that to keep happening. So I think he's going to rally his troops. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But, yeah, this might be his last season. This is a pretty bad start to it.
The most frustrating part about all this is that the record books say 0-2, and they're not playing like an 0-2 team. 6 of the 8 quarters they have played, they've played like a 1-1, 2-0 team. But both 4 quarters, they lose it. It slips right through their fingers, and I know I sound like a broken record, but that's kind of the story of the New York Giants these first 2 games. Fourth quarter defense choking and bad clock management by Coughlin and McAdoo and Eli. Last week, they didn't waste any time. This week, they wasted too much time. They came off of a timeout and got a delay penalty right away. How do you have a delay of game penalty off of a timeout? That can't happen. And especially with guys like Eli and Coughlin. They're 2-time Super Bowl champions. They know how to run the clock. They know what they are doing. We said it last week. They are usually very smart. What happened? And it's not early season jitters, because I said it last week. There's no such thing as week 1 jitters, week 2 jitters, when A, you're a 12-year veteran quarterback. 2, you are a head coach for 15-plus years in the NFL. And 3, there are no excuses for week 1 and week 2 when the fans know what you should be doing. The fans who have never played a down in football know what you should be doing, and the quarterbacks and coaches don't? I'm sorry, that's not a good excuse.
No. But just going to, just going to how the Giants have been playing in the fourth quarter, it's a matter of bearing down and saying, okay, we need to stop here. Or it's just simple football, and there are mental and physical mistakes. I just don't understand, what's going through these players' minds in the fourth quarter when, even 2 minutes left in a basketball game, you are bearing down, you're putting everything out on that field, and I don't see that coming from the New York Giants.
Real quick preview before we move on to bigger and better things in life. Preview for Thursday. Redskins played very well yesterday, and now all of a sudden, what you thought could have been a 2-1 start for their first 3 games, may be 0-3, because the Rams played very well against the Seahawks. They beat them, and a lot of people knew that the Rams were going to play well. People picked the Rams in their survivor and knockout pools yesterday. I didn't watch the game. I watched the Giant game, so I don't know if the Redskins played well. I've been hearing that their defense played very well, and I do like their defense. I'm a big fan of Ryan Kerrigan. But now what you thought is an easy win turns out to not be an easy win. Redskins are coming off of a very good victory. Now they're going to play their first division game of the season, right? This is going to be their first division game of the season. Short week, no Rodgers Cromartie, no Victor Cruz. Owa Odigizua is still out. Marcus Kuhn's going to be out. There are going to be a lot of injuries to this Giants football team, and Dominic Rodgers Cromartie is the start of it. Rodgers Cromartie has a concussion. Odds are he's not going to play on Thursday. You're lucky to come off of a concussion after 1 or 2 weeks, let alone 3 days. So this is not an easy win for the New York Giants.
No, they have a really, really good mindset coming into this game. A young team with a lot of questions. You don't have your starting QB. Kirk Cousins played very, very well yesterday, and basically the team was like, "Hey, look what we can do." Without these star players. I mean, they do have Pierre Garçon, who I think had a good game yesterday, but honestly, they were throwing the ball a lot, and that opened up some gaps. Pounding, they played as a really, really good team overall on both sides of the ball, and their mindset going into this game is that after what the Giants did in these past 2 games, there's no doubt that if we play like the way we did on Sunday, that we can get a win on Thursday.
And then who knows where was Alfred Morris yesterday? Was he hurt, or because Matt Jones?
No, they were splitting time, but Matt Jones just went off yesterday.
Matt Jones, the best. I gotta tell you this story. So my family football draft, right? We all do it. My parents, my little cousins, and my grandparents. My grandfather, my cousin's grandfather, he has the second or third pick of the draft, right? He's on his computer. We're looking at all the stats and everything, and it's his pick. 3rd pick overall. Matt Jones. We all look at him like, who is Matt Jones? We're like, what is he talking about? And we're like, Peps. They call him Peps.
Okay.
Are you sure you want to pick this guy? Like, he's the second string running back for Washington. He's like, because this guy knows nothing about football. Like, my mom bought him fantasy football for dummies. So the guy knows nothing. He picked DeMarco Murray last year. He called him Murray DeMarco. Okay.
Why? Because the last name.
He thought his name was Murray DeMarco. My other grandfather thought it was Jeffrey Ashton instead of Alshon Jeffrey. So these guys are. So he picks Matt Jones. He goes, we're like, Peps, you sure you want him? Yeah. Matt Jones from Washington. We're like, dude, what are you talking about? He didn't have best players available. He looked up best Joneses available. And he was the second Jones available. I don't know. Why can I remember? Julio, yeah. So Matt Jones, he picked Matt Jones. It wound up being a good pick because the guy went off.
He had 123 yards.
But that is my Matt Jones story.
He had 123 yards on 19 carries for 2 touchdowns. So, Peps, great job. Good pick.
He was the best Jones I've
I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen again. You might want to drop him now, but great pick.
Oh, man. That was
Matt Alfred Morris had 18 carries yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Matt Jones had 19? All right. So.
Yeah, he had 19, so they were splitting the time. Matt Jones just broke out. So, yeah.
201-825-1234. We are the beasts of the East. You know what that sound is? Sounds like something from last night's Met game. Oh, I think it's Matt Harvey. It's Matt Harvey from last night.
Matt Harvey in the locker room in the 6th inning.
Matt Harvey is a prima donna. I liked him in the beginning of the season, along with every single Met fan. And now he is the villain in the Mets clubhouse. He had his head held down basically the rest of the game yesterday because he got taken out. Meanwhile, it's his own fault he got taken out.
How is it his fault?
Because he told the Mets that he doesn't want to pitch.
I thought this was the Mets telling him he wasn't allowed to pitch.
No, this was the Mets telling him you're not pitching anymore because that's what you and Scott Boras want. Because Matt Harvey says in every interview, there's nothing more than I want than to pitch, which is a flat-out lie. Because if he wanted to pitch, he would go up to the Mets. He would have gone up to them 3 weeks ago and said, I am throwing.
Yeah, okay. I see. I see where you're coming from now. Yeah, and even yesterday they show the clip in between innings of Terry Collins talking to Matt Harvey. But Dan Shulman made it seem like Terry Collins he's like, I like seeing Terry Collins walking up to him and telling him why he's taking him out of the game. Hey, in my opinion, Terry Collins did a great job taking him out yesterday.
Yes.
Okay? To show his bullpen, this is what is going to happen once, October starts.
Right.
Okay? Show me what you can do. What'd they do?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. They did the exact opposite of what Terry Collins wanted them to do. And I don't blame Matt Harvey for sulking his head because, in my opinion, he's probably thinking, uh-oh.
So then why isn't he going up to them and saying, leave me in the game? He threw 5 shutout innings. He let up 1 hit.
Leave him in the game, or do you want him out for a numerous amount of time next year in case his arm actually does get hurt because he's over his limit?
See, there's no right or wrong answer. There's no real solution. Because
there's just opinions on
because
the whole.
you have the side who's going to say punish him and don't let him start against the Yankees because he wants to start against the Yankees, obviously, so that's his punishment for saying throw me 5 innings a game. And then you have this side that's going to say throw him for 5 innings, give him whatever he's got, and then hopefully the bullpen will take care of the rest. But again, there's no right or wrong answer. We said before, we would rather have Nice throw average baseball
for six
innings than have Matt Harvey throw 4 or 5 innings and then the bullpen completely implode. And then you have the guys who are saying don't start Matt Harvey at all. So let's say Logan Verrett started this game yesterday, or Jonathan Nice, who's tonight's starter. Let's say one of them started last night, and they let up 7 runs in the first inning. And then you have the guys who are going to say, why didn't Matt Harvey throw yesterday? But right now, you have the guys that are saying, why didn't Matt Harvey pitch the 6th and 7th inning? That's the answer because the Mets lost last night. That's the answer because the bullpen blew it. And rightfully so. Met fans should be mad because the bullpen gave up 11 runs yesterday after Matt Harvey retired 15 of 18 batters, and then the bullpen retired 6 of 18 batters. So obviously Met fans should be upset. And here's what they should do. My opinion. Don't throw Harvey until you need to. If you really believe in innings limits that much, then don't throw him.
I absolutely agree.
You are comfortable with 6 games up and 13 left. And it's essentially 3 games up with 10 left because you do have a 3-game set against Toronto. What they should do is not throw him. But then if you don't throw him, and then he is awful in the postseason, then what? Oh, he didn't throw for 2 weeks. He's going to be bad.
No, see, like you said, there's no right or wrong answer to this. It's a 50-50 shot no matter which way you do it. But like I said, I completely agree with you in keeping him benched until you need him in the playoffs because that's when you're going to need him. That's the most crucial time, obviously, that you need him. It's a no-brainer to me to sit Matt Harvey, say, listen, if you really believe in all this, innings limits, everything going on with that, I'm going to sit you until you can pitch, and you can pitch 4, 6, 7 innings.
Yep.
I'm not going to keep you in for 5. Obviously, you did a great job last night. You had 1 hit, 5 innings. How many Ks? 6 or 7?
6 or 7, yeah.
Beautiful. But the way they're working it, the way Terry Collins is working it is, you're going to pitch 5 or 6, sit down, you pitch great, but our bullpen's just going to have to take over, and you're going to have to deal with whatever goes on with that. And what went on with that was it went completely downhill.
Yep. You have to do one of 2 things. Either don't throw him at all or throw him as far as he can go. It's one of the 2. You can't have innings limits anymore.
To me, it's definitely lose-lose because Matt Harvey is going to either pitch his 6 or 7.
Right.
Possibly get hurt because you're not knock on wood. Obviously, I hate when players get hurt anyway. But there's always a possibility there if he's going over his limit. So that's one risk. Risk number 2 on the other side is Matt Harvey pitches beautifully last night, like we saw, and the bullpen implodes like it has all season. So
And we saw it firsthand. That's not a one-time thing. That's going to happen with this team.
that's scary for the Mets going to the postseason after all this blaze that the Mets are back. They are back, but can they keep their streak?
Matt Harvey simply got brainwashed by Scott Boras. What Matt Harvey is not realizing is that Scott Boras works for Matt Harvey.
Yeah, any agent, if you're an agent, you do what the players want.
And good job by Scott Boras, because that's his job. His job is to make... Scott Boras makes money off of Matt Harvey's contract. That's how agents get
anyone.
paid.
A-Rod, look at anyone under Scott Boras or any other agent.
It's not even Matt Harvey wanting to get paid. It's also Scott Boras. And I give credit for Matt Harvey. He wants to get paid, obviously. But he shouldn't say, I want to pitch, and there's nothing more that I want than to pitch, and then don't do it because you want to get paid. Pick a side, do one or the other. I get it. You want to get paid $200 million. God bless you. But make your mind up. How many times does this situation happen when you are a legitimate World Series contender? They are a legitimate World Series contender.
What are their odds right now? 7? Or
I have no idea.
I think last time we checked it was like 6 or 7 or 1.
Yeah, they are.
And they were like 2nd or 3rd up on that list.
And if they lose in the postseason, darn, they only have to face the Pirates, Cubs, and Cardinals and Dodgers.
Yeah.
Who are 4 stud teams.
Exactly. The fact that they even made it, based off of how they started the first half, absolutely average team that you thought was going to just keep going average until that streak. But, hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do at this point? What are you going to do?
I just think what they're doing right now, I think last night changed a lot of things. I don't know if they want... do you think they know what they're doing with Matt Harvey?
Do I think they know what they're doing?
Before last night.
Yeah, I think they know what they're doing. But, again...
They don't want to tell us because it'll be a whole fiasco.
No, but they're thinking about what we're thinking about, which has the greater probability of making the team win. Matt Harvey throwing more, but looking at the future, he could get hurt. Like there's so many, knocking on wood again.
Yeah.
There's so many risks. There's so many pros and there's so many cons to every single situation you could deal with Matt Harvey. Right now, my opinion, if I were to put it down right now, they're doing a good job with Matt Harvey. I'm saying they're doing a good job because, yes, you have the innings limit. You set that. Done. Perfect. You're securing his future as a Met. But, and with the whole bullpen situation, that's on the bullpen. Somebody step up during the playoffs and say, I'm going to pitch well. I'm not going to let up any runs so I can preserve this team's chance to win the World Series.
We are the Beast of the East, Ryan Morick and Scott Thompson with you on WRPR 90.3 FM. Scotty T, time to take us through the updates. Go ahead.
All right, on to our Ramapo Roadrunner updates. Women's tennis posted a 7-2 win over Pratt Institute yesterday at the Athletic Center. They are now 4-1 overall. They will return to action on Wednesday as they take on William Patterson at 4 p.m. Men's tennis also played yesterday. They defeated Pratt Institute in their season opener with a 9-0 shutout. They return to action when they travel to the ITA Northeast Regionals hosted at Vassar College on the 26th to the 28th. So check that out this weekend. Men's soccer lost another heartbreaker to Stockton 1-0 on Saturday. They are now 3-1 on the season. They will take on Berkeley College in their game at the Athletic Center at 4 p.m. Wednesday to begin a 3-game home stretch. Women's soccer also played Stockton on Saturday where they ended in a 1-1 draw. Michaela Knobloch scored that lone goal in the second half. They will take on NYU at home at 4 p.m. On to pro updates. The Yankees won 11-2 at Citi Field last night, as we were saying before. Matt Harvey threw 5 shutout innings with only 1 hit allowed before he was taken out. The Mets bullpen then imploded, and they couldn't preserve the lead, giving up a 5-run 6th inning where Dustin Ackley put out a 3-run home run. From there, it just went downhill. The Mets bullpen gave up 6 more runs after that. Greg Bird with a 3-run home run. The Yankees, now with momentum, traveled to Toronto to take on the Jays in a 3-game set. Adam Warren, David Price on the bump tonight. The Mets, on the other hand, will take on the Braves at home. Jonathan Neese and Shelby Miller on the bump for that. On to the NFL, the Giants lost another heartbreaker Sunday at MetLife Stadium as they gave up a 10-point fourth-quarter lead for the second time in 2 weeks. Odell Beckham, with 6 catches, 139 yards in the first half, was only held to 1 catch for 10 yards in the second half. Julio Jones then stole the show with 13 catches, his career high, for 135 yards, giving the Falcons the push they needed to get into the end zone. Final score, 24-20 Falcons. The Giants will take on the Redskins this Thursday Night Football on CBS. The Jets, on the other hand, they will play tonight against the 0-1 Indianapolis Colts. Todd Bowles looking to take his inaugural season to a 2-0. That is on 8:30 tonight, ESPN. Hockey's back, Ryan.
I like that.
You know we love hockey.
Why isn't it the best sport? Why isn't it the most popular sport ever?
It
has everything. Contact, non-stop action.
It's my favorite sport to watch ever since I was little. Anyway, Devils Rangers, they play a preseason game at the Garden tonight at 7 p.m. And in other news, old Rangers news, John Tortorella was just announced head coach for Team USA for the 2016 World Cup of Hockey.
Gold medal. Seriously.
Gold medal. All right, that is it for our updates. We are the Beast of the East. Ryan Mork, Scott Thompson, WRPR Radio, 90.3 FM.
Oh, yeah. Ryan Mork and Scott Thompson with you, Beasts of the East. We're changing up the format a little bit. It's time for our Beasts of the Week. We usually do this at the end of the show, but we have something else planned for the end of the show from now on. You'll see that just a bit later.
Yep.
So let's get right to it. Beast of the East at 6:32 p.m. My Beast of the Week, get those two a little mixed up sometimes.
Yeah.
My Beast of the Week is the big man on the hill for the New York Yankees, Mr. C.C. Sabathia. C.C. Sabathia in the month of September. 1.04 ERA, 1.17 WHIP, 18 strikeouts. Opponents are batting 190 against him in his last 2 starts. 0.71 ERA, 13 strikeouts, 0.63 WHIP. He has come up huge in his last 4 starts when he is needed the most. He has led up just 3+ earned runs in 1 of his last 7 starts. The other 6 starts, 1, 2, 2, 1, 0, 1. He got robbed of the American League Player of the Week. That was Jose Abreu and Prince Fielder. Absolutely robbed. His ERA, not good, but at a 4.8. But that is his lowest since May 16th when it was 4.67. Remember, CC had a 5.96 at one point.
He's been absolutely lights out on the mound this month, and I love it. CC of old, the CC I'm used to.
Yep. Came off the DL. He's wearing some new knee brace. It's working.
Looks nice.
And if you're winning, keep going, CC.
Yeah. On to my Beast of the Week. Don't judge me on this. I'm going to try it.
All right.
I got my Australian accent. Jason Day.
Oh, all right. That's
Jason
pretty good.
Day. That's how he talks when he has his interviews. Jason Day, with another win this weekend at the BMW Championship. Ryan, he shot a 22 under. 22 under. He shot 18 under. So then the first, 16 or 18? It was 16 under. 16 under in the first 2 rounds.
Jordan Spieth was in 11th place at -11.
That's insane. But now Jason Day, 5th Tour victory of the year. That sets a career high, actually. I think he's tied Tiger Woods for the most in a season.
Tiger had 5 in 2013, and he won PGA Player of the Year. So if it's not Jason Day, who's won
who it is.
2, he won the Barclays, the BMW, and the PGA. If that's
and now they're going to, he's going to the Tour Championship hot. He holds an over 2,500 point lead in the FedEx Cup standings. I see Jason Day taking it away with this, even with a mediocre performance at the Tour Championship. So Jason Day. Jason Day is my beast of the week. We're back, Beast of the East. WRPR 90.3. Crikey. Did someone just turn on a light? Who is that?
Someone.
All right, I'm done. I won't do it anymore. I got a lot more where that came from, too. Got a lot more.
That's so good. The New York Yankees. The New York Yankees. That was really good.
CC on the hill last night.
All right. So the New York Yankees, we predicted that these next 6 games for the Yankees would not go well at all against the Mets and the Blue Jays.
No, I was totally
I
lost.
expected a sweep.
I was suspecting 4 to 6 loss.
Oh yeah,
Honestly, just both.
Oh yeah, I expected a sweep by the Mets, and the only win that I thought was going to happen was Friday night with Tanaka on the hill. And Tanaka threw an absolute gem. He made 2 mistakes to Murphy and Duda. He came out of the game when it was 2-1 Mets. Only 2 mistakes were 2 solo home runs. And as soon as the Yankees lost on Friday night, I said that this series is probably over. And then they shut out the Mets on Saturday. Pineda looking like an ace that he was highly talked about during spring training, and he lived up to it every so often. He had that 16 strikeout game. You went to the game when he had the no-hitter entering the 7th inning.
Yep.
And Saturday he pitched like a complete ace. And yesterday with CC dominated. And luckily for the Yankees, Harvey came out after 5. And the Yankees took advantage of that. The defense did not play too well. Brett Garner with the pretty bad bunt, but David Wright couldn't come up with it. Daniel Murphy with that barehanded throw. Lucas Duda tried to make the pick. He didn't. Daniel Murphy with the bad throw. The Yankees took advantage of the opportunities given to them, and the Yankees have not done that for a very long time. Toronto loses 2 out of 3 to Boston. The Mets make mistakes. The Yankees finally took advantage, and that's what the Yankees need to start doing, especially tonight. You're not going to get a lot of opportunities handed to you with David Price on the mound, but that's momentum, and that's all that matters right now. It's September. Momentum is the key.
I'm loving it. It's never too late, as they always say. You said 13 games left. I am loving it right now. I'm loving how the Yankees are producing on both sides, fielding, pitching, hitting. It's clicking, like I said in the shows of last. The Mets are clicking.
Yep.
We saw the exact opposite here. We see the Yankees clicking. And now beating the Mets at their home field. That's a lot of momentum carrying to Toronto. Big momentum.
With the sellout crowds at Citi Field, too. So the Yankees now know what they're expecting.
Which, by the way, our friend Jimbo went to the game yesterday. He said there was 50-50 there.
Really?
50 Mets and Yankees fans. Yeah, he saw crowds of everything. So
you guys said like 90-10.
You said 90-10.
Oh, wait. Oh, I did.
You said 90-10.
Oh, you're right. Oh,
but
yeah.
Even we said 70-30. Still, 50-50, that means, hey, Yankee fans, we're back on. It's
because here's the thing. I hate to interrupt you, but
go ahead.
The thing with Yankee fans and Met fans, but they think there's this big rivalry between the Yankees and Mets. Legitimately, there's not. If you are a Met fan and you cared so much about being deemed the king of New York, and the same thing with the Yankee fans, like the Yankees won last night and it was all, Yankees are still the kings of New York, the Mets stink, 1986, 27 championship. Both teams have so much more to play for than being the better team out of 2 teams.
Yeah, the Mets are playing for. Yeah, we are still the New York Mets. We're still in New York. They're playing for. We're going to make a push now. We're not only the minor league New York Mets, the AA New York Mets. They're playing for that, and the Yankees are also playing for their franchise status. Hey, we're still the Yankees that you should be scared of. So
but they have so many. Would you rather be the best team out of 2 within a 5-mile radius, or would you rather be the best team of 5 in an entire division?
Yeah.
Some Yankee fans would rather be the king of New York.
I care more about Yankee Red Sox games than Yankee Mets
Without
games.
Without a doubt. But
That's my rivalry. Your rivalry is what? Mets, Nats now? I think Mets and Nats is a pretty good rivalry.
Now it's Mets and Nats.
Yankees, Red Sox. That's what you should be focusing on, not Yankees, Mets.
Yep. Same thing goes for Giants and Jet fans also.
Like, are you going to tell me if the Yankees, obviously they're both going to make the playoffs, but if the Yankees don't make the playoffs, you're not going to root for them?
27 titles. No one cares. They've been dead for 50 years.
I'm saying you as a Yankee fan, think about, obviously.
Once the Yankees get eliminated, I'm going to be rooting for the Mets.
Exactly.
You can call in and you can trash me for rooting for the Mets. Go ahead. I'm a baseball fan.
I will drop your call.
Just because I'm a Yankee fan, that doesn't mean that the Yankees are God's gift and everything that they do is right. Yeah. You're a Mets fan. How can you root for another team? Because I'm a baseball fan. I like the sport.
I'm a New York fan. I'm a Giants fan. I'm rooting for the Jets to make the playoffs.
This might sound weird, but I was rooting for the Rangers in the Stanley Cup.
Me too. I'll root for Steven Stamkos and the Tampa Bay Lightning. No, I'm gonna root for Derek Stepp. Root for Rick Nash. I'm gonna root for my hometown team. I'm gonna rally behind everybody else.
It's not even that. It's not even being the hometown team. It's just. I hate the Rangers with everything I have in me. But you know, I like their players. I love Hagelin. I love who's the psychopath?
Well, Hagelin's gone now.
Oh yeah, true. He went to L.A. I love Zuccarello.
Zuccarello's great.
He's awesome. But just it's the story. The Rangers had not won since '94. Before that, it was 1940. Look at the Mets. They haven't made the postseason since 2006. You're rooting for David Wright because he's the only guy who was on that team
that's been there since the very beginning.
It's still been there. So, am I a Yankee fan? Yes. I was rooting for the Mets to lose 25-0 this weekend every game. I was also rooting for the Nationals to lose. Why? Because I'm a Yankee fan. I want the Yankees to do well. But I'm a baseball fan. I want the Mets to do well. So if you're that concerned about being the king of New York, relax. Both Yankee fans and Met fans and Giants and Jet fans. There are Giant fans who, I can guarantee you, if the Jets lose tonight, there are going to be Giant fans that are saying, Jet fans think they're the Super Bowl champs, blah, blah, blah. The Cowboys are 2-0. Be more concerned about the Dallas Cowboys because right now you're 2 games behind of them. You're not 2 games behind the Jets because they're not even your conference. You're 2 games back with the Dallas Cowboys. Focus on that.
Yeah, but going to baseball, you can focus on what team you like and who's the king if they make it to the World Series.
Right.
If you're a baseball fan, you root for both going through the whole thing.
Yep.
Plain and simple. Then you can pick your differences at the end.
We got off on a tangent there, but
let's
go back to the Yankees. CC awesome, we mentioned that. But now you have Masahiro Tanaka, who just went down with a hamstring injury, and that's also a discussion for another day. Batters being in the NL, I don't like it because that's how Tanaka got hurt. That's how Chen Ming Wang's career ended. Just make it the same for both leagues.
Do you remember that game? That Astros game?
Yeah,
it was an Astros game.
It was at Houston, yeah. We'll get into that a different day, though. Tanaka's hurt, and Tanaka, same thing with CC. Every time you need Tanaka, he goes out there and deals. The last 2 games he has thrown against Toronto, absolute gems. One of them a complete game, and the other one last week or 2 weeks ago, he threw 7 shutout innings, I believe. Tanaka is the ace of this pitching staff, and there's no question about it. Whenever you need him to throw, he throws very well. And the worst thing that can happen to this team, to this Yankees team, is them being 1 game back with 1 to play.
That would be absolutely awful. And looking back at it, you can see Tanaka's been the only light in the Yankees' pitching darkness, if you want to metaphorically say it like that. Tanaka's been putting up great innings. He was keeping the team in at one point. When you thought they were just going to slip off, Tanaka throws 7 2/3 with 10 Ks and blah blah blah.
Yep.
So having him hurt is definitely a big. Actually, I wouldn't say it's a big hurt because after last night. And the night before that, you can see that this team can deal without him if they.
You have faith in Pineda now. You have faith in CC now.
But like in the playoffs, you like knowing that your probability for 1 game is better than the other teams. And when Tanaka's on the hill, you can say the probability is definitely working toward your favor.
And that's why them being 1 game back with 1 to play would be the worst. Because if Tanaka's scheduled to throw game 162, who's going to throw the wild card game if they make it? Most likely Pineda, maybe Severino. But then who is Houston? Not Severino?
I would throw Pineda. Without a doubt.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know why. It's just Pineda in games like that. I mean, like, I'm not going to say Pineda in Boston last year. Yeah. Anyway, just Pineda in big games when you need him to throw, especially against, I think he pitched against Hernandez at one point, Felix Hernandez in Seattle. He just pitches well against matchups that don't work in his favor.
And look at Severino, his first big start against Toronto, let up 5 runs in the first inning.
And who's it right now? The Astros right now?
Astros, and they're going to have to probably face Keuchel.
I without a doubt, would not even want to do that. Well, you think they'd really throw Keuchel?
It depends on if he throws game 162. They would throw Keuchel. In a 1-game playoff, you throw your ace. You don't. Yeah. You have to assume that it's your last game and you want to go down with a fight, I think. You can't throw your 2 starter to throw your 1 starter the next day.
Yeah.
And let's look at tonight really quickly. Adam Warren on the hill. Guy's still not ready to throw 6 or 7 innings yet. Last start, he only threw 4 innings. 4 really good innings, too. And they took him out because that's his pitch limit right now, 60 pitches. Tonight he's probably going to be 70 or 75. That's at least what I'm thinking. So you're probably only going to get 4 or 5 from Adam Warren tonight, and it's going to be a big bullpen game. So Severino, you're going to have to rely on a lot tomorrow night because who knows with Ivan Nova. He got taken out of the rotation to be in the bullpen. So if Nova does not throw well on Wednesday and you have Adam Warren only throwing 4 or 5 innings tonight, you got to rely on Severino a lot tomorrow because you're expecting a lot of a heavy load from the bullpen tonight.
Yeah,
so.
I'm nervous because the Jays coming off what was an awful away stretch, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They did not do well at all. They lost 2-3 to the Braves, right?
They beat the Braves. They lost 2 of 3 to Boston. They lost 2 of 3 to whoever they played before that.
Okay, yeah. So they're pissed coming into this game.
Yep.
They know that they need to produce during this game, which adds a little extra hype. So I wouldn't look much at the bullpen. The Yankees tonight should focus more on their offense because you got to know that runs are going to be put up. You need to counter that.
Right.
Greg Bird, A-Rod, everyone needs to hit when you have runners in scoring position.
Yep.
I don't want to see one runner left out because you know that with that stacked offense that Toronto offers, that there are going to be runs are going to be put on the board, especially with Warren pitching, and when Warren gets taken out, your bullpen needs to produce, and blah blah blah. You know, why can't there ever be a game where I can say, "Hey, this is gonna be a good one tonight"? There's always going to be issues.
Well, I hope I can help you out with this one. Yankees are historically good against David Price, and A-Rod had basically the whole weekend off. Only a couple pinch hitting appearances, being in NL Park, and A-Rod, the stats show it. He is awesome. Bye, Jenna.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Jenna.
One of our friends was actually in the studio with us low key for the last hour and a half. But anyway, A-Rod, stats show it. He's very, very good after days off. He's very good. He had 3 days off. And against David Price, righty versus lefty, Yankees hit Price very well. Their lineup today is very good, partly because Steven Drew is not in it. Dustin Ackley's in the lineup. He's playing second base tonight. Hold on. Yankees. All right, we got Ellsbury, Gardner, A-Rod, McCann, Beltran, Headley, Bird, Didi, Ackley.
Beautiful. 1 through 9, hit the ball, please. That's what they need tonight. Like I said, I see Baltimore putting up. If I were to Baltimore, Toronto, Jesus. Orioles. No, I see the Jays putting up. To be easy with it, I see them putting up at least 5
tonight.
I would assume they put up at least 5 tonight.
It's very likely.
So I need
what's the word with Encarnacion? Is he in? Is he in the lineup?
He's probably going to be itching to be in the lineup tonight.
Because he's been. All right. Revere, Donaldson, Bautista, Encarnacion, Smoke, Martin, Goins, Pilar, Pennington.
I believe it's pronounced Goins.
Goins?
Goins.
You might be right.
Ryan Goins. Anyway.
So yeah, Toronto has a solid lineup. Donaldson, Bautista, Aaron Encarnacion. 3,000 guys. Donaldson's the MVP. So you have to hope Warren. Let's hope they extend Warren. It might not be a bad idea depending on how he's throwing because,
it depends on his pitch count. It depends on how he comes out.
You have to assume the bullpen is going to be on a heavy workload this week because who knows with Nova. Severino, hopefully he can throw well, but right now, Adam Warren is not a 6-7 inning pitcher. So tonight, we're moving on. Enough baseball. Jets, Colts. Monday Night Football in Indianapolis. Jets are 1-0. Colts are 0-1. You don't hear that one every day. But let's go over the Jets and Colts game really quickly. T.Y. Hilton is playing. So that hurts the Jets a lot. Chris Ivory is also playing, which helps them out a lot. I think the main factor of this game for the Jets is their receiving, Marshall and Decker, because Chris Ivory's not 100%. He's not going to get the ball a lot. And that stinks because the Colts D-line is not very good. And the Colts secondary there, I think they're all right. But I said, if T.Y.'s out, the Jets are winning. But now Revis has to cover the number one guy, and Cromartie is questionable. I haven't heard anything yet. But right now, I think this game really depends on Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker. I mean, I just lost my track of thought really quickly. If Marshall and Decker play well, the Jets have a legitimate shot at winning this game because T.Y. Hilton playing is big for this Indianapolis Colts team. And really quickly, remember, the Colts played very badly against Buffalo last week. And the Jets have probably a better defense than Buffalo and a better offense than Buffalo.
You know who we're actually forgetting about? Because this is what I'm actually going to disagree with you a little bit to say who the Jets' key players are.
Fitzpatrick?
No, you know Andre Johnson plays on the Colts, right?
Yes, and that's why T.Y. Hilton playing tonight is huge.
Okay, so my key to this game, if the Jets want to win tonight, is definitely their corners. Cromartie's questionable. Are we going to find out game time if he's going to play?
Keep talking. I'll look it up.
All right, talking. No. But honestly, I see if because in my opinion, I don't think it's Marshall and Decker that are the keys to this game. Like you said, the Colts D line is not that good at all. Right. So I see Fitzpatrick making some very good throws, very accurate throws tonight to both his receivers, and that's also going to open up the run game. I see if the corners shut down on Johnson and Hilton, the Colts are not getting past that Jets D line. Their running game, I don't think, is as good as what the Jets are going to be throwing at them. So I think the corners are what are going to be the keys.
Antonio Cromartie is playing tonight.
Okay. Cromartie and Revis, you shut down Andre Johnson and T.Y. Hilton, you win the game.
Because there's no way Frank Gore is playing well tonight. There's no way.
Simple.
Frank Gore did nothing against Buffalo. Granted, Buffalo was at home, so...
Frank Gore, I love Frank Gore to death.
Me too.
Frank Gore is old, though. Frank Gore's not as fast as he was. You have this young D-line. You have these young linebackers coming at you. These guys are going to be stopping that run game, so Andrew Luck is going to have to be attentive tonight, definitely to them, coming at them. And in my opinion, like I said, Revis and Cromartie, you win the game tonight. You win or lose that game tonight.
You know, if you Google Antonio Cromartie, the first thing that comes up is Antonio Cromartie kids.
Yeah, I would figure that. Honestly.
Real quick predictions. Now that Cromartie's playing, I think that's huge because I said if T.Y. was out, Jets are winning because Revis would shut down Andre, no problem. But now that Cromartie can stop Andre Johnson.
So who do you think is going to be on who, though? Do you think you put Cromartie on Johnson or
Revis
T.Y.?
is going on T.Y.
Yeah, Revis will go on T.Y.
1-on-1, 2-on-2.
Yeah, because
Revis is on Cromartie.
Because if you think about it, T.Y.'s the smaller. Andre Johnson's obviously bigger than him, right?
I think Andre's
more
bulkier.
More bulky, yeah.
Yeah.
Is bulkier a word?
Bulkier, yeah.
We'll go with it. Yeah, you put Cromartie the bigger corner on
right.
him.
I'm going Jets victory.
I'm going to say Jets 24-21. It's a nice generic win spread right there.
I think the Jets are going to win this game, and I can see this game being a 2-possession game. I really can, because if Chris Ivory can run the ball like he did last week, it's going to be a nightmare. I get it. It's Cleveland. But Cleveland's defense is better than the Colts' defense.
Wait, is Chris Ivory questionable?
Questionable.
We'll find out now because we got an hour till the game, basically.
I heard he was playing, but I'm not sure. But good to go for week 2. So Chris Ivory's playing. Okay. Jets are going to win this ball game. Frank Gore can't do anything against this Jets defense. T.Y. and Andre, I think they'll produce a little bit, but I don't think they will produce like they usually can because you have Darrelle Revis and Antonio Cromartie. Colts O-line is, how are they?
Decent.
So
I was going to ask you,
unreal.
Little trivia, over under 4 sacks on Luck tonight. Under 4 sacks?
Yeah.
What, 3?
Under than that, I think.
Okay. I don't know. I think that the D-line is definitely going to be coming at him tonight.
I think the Jets' strengths are better than the Colts. Like the Jets' strengths can beat the Colts better than the Colts' strengths.
The Jets
can
at their best can beat the Colts at their best. Is what
Right.
you're
The
saying.
Jets' strength outside of Andrew Luck, the Jets' strengths are better than the Colts' strengths. That's
Okay,
what I'm
yeah.
trying to say. So I'm gonna go Jets 28-21. That's it right there. Jets are the 6.5-point underdog. So if you want to bet that 1.5 is big, but I think the Jets are going to win this game. I think they can stop T.Y. and Andre, and I don't think Frank Gore is going to do much at all.
No.
Ryan Morick and Ryan Morick.
You said Ryan Mork. You said Ed?
Did I? I don't know.
No, you didn't. You're hearing stuff. See, now it's just in your
Now
head
it's just
now.
in my
Now
head,
you're going
right.
to think about it.
Ryan Morick and Scott Thompson.
He's going to pronounce the syllables from now on, everybody. Ryan Morick.
Athlete. Scrimmage. Brian Morick, Scott Thompson. We are the Beasts of the East. We will be right back with our final thoughts.
You're listening to WRPR Mawa. Now that's a face for You're new.
Throwbacks.
This is the. You want to know why we're playing this song? I got my Vans on, baby. Look at that. I act like there's a camera in here.
Earlier in the day, Ryan was just sitting there, and I just started singing this. So I'm like, hey, this is perfect to put on.
You know who got me these Vans?
Got my Vans on, fitted, walk out the door.
You know who got me these?
What? Who?
Girlfriend got me them.
Girlfriend.
No, girlfriend didn't get me them. Girlfriend got me them.
Girlfriend.
She also got me this watch.
Shouts out to Melissa McCarthy.
Look at that. Not the actress.
Not the actor.
The actress too. She's cool. Look at that. That's pretty. It's a dope watch. I low key did not like this because I already have a watch. I don't want to have two watches.
Yeah.
But I kind of like it. I'm wearing a lot of dark clothing.
Guess
today.
what?
Hurry up, because we have a minute left.
Okay, it's Middle Child Day, and my mom sent me this nice
Middle
thing.
child.
Middle Child
That's
Day.
me.
That's us right there. We're the
That's
middle
me.
children.
We are middle childs. Oh, Melissa just sent me heart emojis. All right.
Anyway.
All right. Yeah, you're the worst. Just kidding. I'm gonna get smacked.
Ryan, what are you thinking about right now, man?
My final thought of the day: Yankee fans, you are the worst sometimes. Whenever you're losing,
Preach.
whenever the team is losing, you can't help but bring up the 27 rings. I get it. The Yankees are the best franchise of all time, but that does not change the standings. Blue Jays have not made the postseason since 1993. I get it. But they have every right to brag right now. Blue Jay fans have every right to brag. They are in first place in the American League East, probably the best team in the league. Just because you bring up the 27 rings, that does not mean that changes the standings. 27 rings, 27 rings. What is that going to do? Now the Yankees are up 2.5 games? Stop it. Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, all of them, they've been dead for 50 years. Get over it. The Yankees, there are 4 remaining players. 4 players from 2009 on the Yankees right now. Teixeira, CeCe, A-Rod, and Gardner. That's it. They're a completely different team. If you want to bring up the franchise and how great the franchise is, by all means. But when you want to talk about how good the Yankees are right now, don't bring up the 27 rings because that does not change the standings.
Stop turning red on me right now. You're angry. You're
just
so
annoying.
angry.
It's
There's
just
a lot of. All right, I'm gonna carry the negativity, but my final thought of the day. Ryan, I went home this weekend. Okay,
Right.
I went to go see my little brother play soccer.
Right.
I used to go all the time when I was home. Anyway, I go to the game. I'm hanging out, and I hear some parents calling my brother a couple names, calling teams little names. Obsessive parents. I want to give you
The people who live vicariously through their kids. The worst.
seriously, just please stop. Just stop. I mean, can I ever just watch a game and not listen to parents yelling at both their sons to do better and and my dad got in a confrontation with a parent he hasn't even met in his life.
That's good.
I don't get it. Dad, stop. Parents, stop. Please. Just watch the game. Have fun. Thank you.
Thank you. We were supposed to end the show a minute and 37 seconds ago.
I got carried away.
But it's all right. It didn't really help that I brought up the Vans. That took like 2 minutes long. So I'm going to wrap it up now. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in on this Monday, September 21st, 2015. Ryan Morick and Scott, I did it. Ryan Morick and Scott Thompson. We are the Bees of the East.
Baba Booey!
Baba Booey. WRPR 90.3 FM. Tune in tonight. I can't remember what show is on because we kind of just released the schedule earlier this week. But check out the Morick Sports Twitter at Morick Sports at Scott Thompson 08 for WRPR shows. Peace of the East. Closing it out on WRPR 90.3 FM. It is not goodbye. To see you later. Take care and so long, everybody.